Okay, we have a gadget called a Smart Cookie, which allows you to put the dough in, you put this in, and you put it in the freezer. So anytime you want to bake off a few cookies, you can take one out or three out.
You can take one out and put them back.
Yeah.
The Smart Cookie.
So, there you go.
I get it.
So what we're going to do is do a chocolate chip cookie, but this is with rye flour.
Yum.
So it's half white flour, half rye flour. People are going like, really?
I love sweet and savory together.
Rye gives you a little bit of bitterness and savoriness. So you have the sugar on one hand and you have that. So you start with a cup of rye flour. You toast it in a skillet for 4 or 5 minutes. Then when you're finished with that, you add in a stick and a half of butter.
Yum.
Well, I mean, you got to have some butter. I mean,
some
stick
and a half.
Well, it's a chocolate chip cookie. You melt that down, and then it ends up like this. You end up with cool now.
That's gorgeous.
So that's toasted rye flour. You get the nice nuttiness. It's kind of dark with the butter. So now we have a little bit less than a cup of flour, about half a teaspoon of baking soda, a little bit of salt. Whisk that together.
Salt is magic in cookies. Don't you feel a little bit of salt?
Salt also, by the way, if you put it in coffee, you know this, it's not bitter. It gets rid of the bitterness, so it's nice.
Delicious.
And then you have a salty cup of coffee, but that's something totally different. A couple eggs. We have a tablespoon each of vanilla. By the way, I like triple the vanilla called for in recipes.
I always bump up the vanilla too. You just don't, you lose it if you don't bump it up a little.
I lose it anyway. It's totally different. So some molasses, and we're going to have 1.25 cups of sugar. So this is pretty standard for a chocolate chip cookie.
But what a different flavor profile with the toasted flour. I can't wait to taste these.
I think everybody back there has been eating them for the last couple hours, so.
I hope they left us one.
They're crumbs all over.
And then you're going to marry that.
This is the toasted flour with the butter.
Oh, my God.
Which takes just a few minutes.
Do you know, my husband and I drove by the longest line we'd seen for a while. We thought it was for a concert. It's for a place that sells raw cookie dough. No joke.
That's
the
it?
line was like 3 blocks long. I'm like, well, that was a brilliant idea. That worked.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it?
So there we go.
Beautiful. And then, of course, you throw in your chips.
Now, you can use regular chocolate chips, 1.5 cups. You could use the chunks. You could cut it up yourself
Dark
if you want.
chocolate chunks would be delicious.
Walnuts or pecans, about 1 cup of those, okay?
But look what I have. Already cooked ones.
So why did I have to? I didn't have to do this.
Have you tried these? They're amazing.
Are those good? Those are really good. I'll take one.
Try one. They are fabulous.
So this gets put into this, and it's about half a recipe's worth. You put the dough in here, and then you put this on top.
And
it's
then you
already
can pull off one at a time.
And then you can put off one at a time. This
It's
goes right in the
brilliant.
freezer. So there you go.
And they're delicious.
Okay, so this is one out of the freezer.
Yeah.
And you can just
And you
take
can
them
just
off one
peel
at a
off
time.
one at a
Peel
time.
off one at a time, put them in there.
Brilliant.
Okay?